of course, we are getting more reactions here. And let's go across now once again to Delhi, where Ankur Bhatia, Executive Director of the Bird Group, joins us. The Bird Tour Services, in fact, offers wide range of travel-related services. It's established a JV with Lufthansa to provide ground handling solutions for the civil aviation industry. Mr. Bhatia, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I think a key question, again, that is playing on everybody's minds is taking away from the comments made by Lalu Prasad Yadav, is that he is seriously looking to compete with the low-cost airlines industry, and he thinks that perhaps they may not be sustainable. What is your take on that?
See, the low-cost airlines, when they entered the sky, they took the benchmark as the second, as the railway fares in order to put their pricing on in order to attract passengers. I guess the low-cost carriers have a newer challenge now because of these fare cuts, that they would have to relook and correct their fares to a certain extent, because the Indian traveller in that extent is extremely price sensitive. Given the choice that they can get a better price to commute from point A to point B, they have no loyalties to or they don't have a constraint to move back to railways.
Right. So, Ankur, do you have any back-of-the-envelope calculation on, the difference between low-cost carriers and, say, a first-class or second-class AC fare at the moment, and how much of a how much of a price cut are you really expecting from the aviation players?
See, there is no, I don't think, the gap, sometimes the fares which are available at the low-cost carriers in certain sectors are even lower than the air fares being offered between these two, even lower than the railway fares being offered between point A and point B. So there is no parity. I think in the aviation industry, it is a demand and a supply situation. So if the demand is less and the supply is more, they need to correct that in order to fill up a passenger on their seat. My opinion, seeing the railway budget is quite similar from the side of railways as well, because they see that they have the potential to carry more passengers in a more efficient manner, and that is why they've introduced these cuts, and they've given the benefit back to the passengers. Coming from an aviation point, yes, it is definitely going to move some numbers. I can't estimate right now in terms of passenger numbers, but it is again a good time for the traveller, because then they again get a choice to travel by rail and in a cheaper method.
All right, Ankur, thanks so much for joining us with your comments out there. It's, of course, seems to be a win-win situation for the consumers and the commuters. But it's time for us to head into a short break now. But before that, take a look at some more lighter moments from the railway.